A handful of South African miners convinced 2 billion people that tiny rocks were worth dying for, and nobody even noticed it happen. In 1938, the average American man spent $0 on diamond engagement rings. Not because he was broke or didn't love his fiancée, because diamonds weren't considered essential to marriage. They were rocks, nice rocks, sure, but rocks. Then something changed. By 1979, the average spend had hit $5,000. By today, we're talking $6,000 to $8,000. Nobody forced this shift. No law required it. No biological imperative demanded it. Instead, one company, De Beers, engineered a century-long psychological monopoly so complete that we still don't realize we're living inside it. Exhibit 1: the monopoly itself. In the 1920s, diamonds weren't scarce, they were abundant. South Africa's mines were producing them faster than demand could absorb. Prices were collapsing. Miners were losing fortunes. So in 1930, De Beers did something brilliant. They didn't lower prices to move inventory. They created a cartel. One company, one supply line. One iron grip on the global diamond market. For 90 years, De Beers controlled roughly 80 to 90% of all diamonds entering the market. That's not competition, that's monopoly mathematics. But here's where it gets interesting. Controlling supply means nothing if nobody wants the product. You can hoard all the diamonds in the world and still go bankrupt if people don't care. De Beers knew this, so they did something far more sophisticated than just sitting on inventory. They hired an advertising agency, NWIA, and gave them a mission that sounds almost quaint today: make people believe diamonds equal love. Exhibit 2: the phrase that changed everything. A diamond is forever. Not diamonds are valuable, not diamonds are rare, but forever. That single slogan, created by NWIA in 1938, linked a mineral to eternity, to permanence, to the idea that your love, like the diamond, would never fade. It wasn't marketing, it was theology. And it worked so well that by the 1950s, the phrase had become so embedded in culture that people forgot it was ever an invention. The genius wasn't in the slogan alone. De Beers flooded Hollywood. They gave diamonds to starlets, they placed them in films. They made sure that when you watched a movie, you saw diamonds on the hands of women you admired. They sponsored beauty pageants. They created diamond engagement ring guides, still used today, that told men exactly how many months of salary they should spend. Nobody in this story is stupid. Look at what they were paid to see. A market that didn't exist, waiting to be manufactured. Exhibit 3: the scarcity that wasn't real. Here's the part that should make you pause. Diamonds aren't actually rare. Geologically, they're common. The Earth produces thousands of tons of them annually. But De Beers created artificial scarcity by controlling the supply pipeline. They bought up competing mines. They stockpiled inventory. They literally kept diamonds off the market to maintain high prices. It's the definition of manufactured scarcity. And it worked because the public had no way to verify the claim. By the 1950s, De Beers had engineered something unprecedented: a global psychological monopoly. They didn't just sell diamonds. They sold the narrative that diamonds were essential to love, to status, to a woman's worth. They created demand where none existed. And they did it so thoroughly that couples today still feel obligated to spend months of salary on a ring, not because diamonds are functionally superior to other stones, but because they've been told, repeatedly, that anything less means you don't love her enough. Exhibit 4: the crack in the monopoly. In the 1990s, conflict diamonds emerged as a public issue. Then lab-grown diamonds became technologically viable. Then online retailers started selling diamonds at lower markups. De Beers' grip began to slip, but here's what's remarkable. Even as their monopoly weakened, the cultural narrative they built remained intact. People still believe diamonds are essential. The market still functions. The scarcity myth still holds. That's the power of a century-long advertising campaign. So what's the actual lesson here? Not that diamonds are bad, not that you shouldn't buy them, but that the entire market, the price, the demand, the cultural significance, was engineered. It's a masterclass in how wealth isn't created by supply and demand alone. It's created by controlling narrative, by linking products to emotions, by making people feel that their choices are personal when they're actually inherited from a century-old advertising strategy. De Beers didn't invent diamonds, they invented the desire for them. And that invention, that psychological monopoly, is worth billions. It's still working today. Every engagement ring sold is a small victory for a marketing campaign that started before most of us were born. The rocks didn't change. The story did. And the story, as it turns out, is worth far more than the rocks ever were. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. If you want to understand how fortunes are built through narrative, scarcity, and psychology, not just luck or innovation, subscribe. There's a new story about wealth manufacture every week. Subscribe, there's a new story about wealth manufacture every week. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.